Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, chapter 17, verse 14. In the last verse, Bhagavan Krishna said, rituals performed without following the prescriptions of scriptures, rules of the Vedas, without distributing food, without chanting the mantras properly, without giving gifts, and without Shraddha, that is tamasic. So the main base is Shraddha. If you don't have Shraddha, you will not follow anything. That is what Bhagavan Krishna said in verse 13. Verse 14. Devad Guru Pragyam Pujanam Shauchamarjavam Brahmacharyamagim Sacham Shariram Taba Uchyate. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, tapas is of three types. First is Sharinam tapas, that is physical. Second is Vachikam tapas, that is oral. Third is Manasam tapas, that is mental. All the three are meant for purification, Antakarana Suddhi. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, he gives the example of the eyeglasses. If your eyeglasses are not cleaned properly, then you cannot see properly. So you clean it before using it. Similarly, we clean our external and internal instruments. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, the disciplines mentioned in this verse are centered on the body. That is why they are called Shariram Tapas. First is Deva Pujanam. Devat Guru Pragyam Pujanam. Deva Pujanam. That is worship of deities in some form. Your Ishta Devata. Whomsoever you like. It may be Krishna, it may be Shiva, it may be Rama, it may be Muruga, Kartikeya, any deity of your choice. This is a must. It should be done on daily basis. When we do it on daily basis, without fail, it is considered to be a tapas. No matter what happens, we must do this. So daily morning, whenever you get up, whenever you allot just 10 minutes out of 24 hours, if somebody says, I cannot allot 10 minutes for this, then life is useless. So he says, first Deva Pujanam. Second is respect to Brahmanas and teachers. Teachers are of three kinds. First is mother and father. They are the first teachers. Second is teachers who give you the knowledge of various disciplines. Whatever. Because you have to earn the money as a householder. So you learn something to earn that money. So they are also teachers. Third is spiritual teacher, who initiate you into mantra japa or brahmobadesa. They all deserve respect. Then the third is scholars. They also have to be respected. Scholars in Vedas, scholars in, they may not have realized, but they are scholars. Scholars in Puranas, they have to be respected. Then Bhagavan says, Shaucham and Arjavam, cleanliness. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, cleanliness here is external cleanliness because the subject is Sharira Tapas. This is important for a spiritual seeker. Then second is Arjavam, straightforwardness. Straightforwardness means perfect alignment of thought, word, and deed. Your thinking, your speech, and your actions all must be in coordination. While this may involve mind and speech, it is considered as sarira tapas because it primarily involves actions. Then brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is restraint at the level of external organs. Then ahimsa. Ahimsa is non-hurting. All these terms we have already seen. Ahimsa is non-hurting. Here it means curbing the tendency to hit physically. Swami Dayananda Saraswati, he gives the example of the insect inside your room. Normally, if there is a cockroach or some insect, then immediately we take the broomstick, hit it, and then throw it out. But Swamiji says one should not do that. You should pick it up and leave it outside. You can just sweep it off. That can be done. So any form of hurting is himsa. So non-hurting is physically not hurting any, even an insect. That is what ahimsa. The senses and mind are also involved in the restraint of ahimsa and straightforwardness, arjavam. But the role of physical body is predominant. Hence it is called sharira tapas. That is what Swami Dayananda Saraswati says. Swami Chinmayananda explains what is worship. Worship is an act whereby the meditator develops himself the qualities of meditated. That is the higher ideal. I repeat, worship is an act whereby the meditator develops in himself the qualities of meditated. The worst example I can give is hero worship. Nowadays, cine heroes are getting worship. Most of the people they dress like him, they keep the hair like him, they wear glasses, and whatever they see on the silver screen, they think that is right. So the hero will hit 10 people, they also kill 10 people. Worst form of example. Normally, you should worship Rama, and if you go on meditating on him, then you develop the qualities of Rama. At least a part of it will definitely come, even without your knowledge. That is higher ideal. When you look into Rama, you don't look into mere Rama, the ideals for which he lived. That is what Swami Chinmayananda says. The higher ideal. Swamiji says all internal development, the character development, can be accomplished by the process of worship. It is like touch method of magnetization. Touch method of magnetization. What is it? A soft iron piece is rubbed with horseshoe magnet, whereby the soft iron gains magnetic properties. Similarly, if you are always thinking on high ideals or contact with those, so if you are in contact with high ideals or with people who are living those high ideals, you gain that ideal without too much effort on your part. In Tamil, they say, "Poodan சேர்ந்த நாரும் மணக்கும்." That is, you tie the beautiful smelling flowers in a thread. Even after the flower is removed from that thread, and the thread will have that smell. That is, "Poodan சேர்ந்த நாரும் மணக்கும்." Similarly, touch of magnetization. You be in contact with the people like devas, brahmanas. Brahmanas means people who are having high character. Then pragya, scholars, guru. So naturally, you develop those character ideals. Swami Chinmayananda says, tapas, that is austerity, is not a life of brutal self denial. You don't torture your body thinking that that is tapas. That is not tapas. It is an intelligent method of living in right relationship with the world of objects, thereby avoiding all unnecessary dissipations of vital energies. It is a personal discipline voluntarily undertaken by the seeker in order to avoid dissipation of energy. You save the energy, you conserve the energy, you use the energy in an economical way. That is the idea. Inspired by greater purpose of life, the seeker dedicates himself to a meaningful living, to a meaningful life of spiritual pursuits that not only elevates him but also infuses new dynamism to life. That is the idea. Swami Chinmayananda says, the one who wants to come out of his inner personality, assuming that it is not high as it is expected to be. You want to move from the imperfection to perfection, immaturity to maturity. So inner personality is not that good. You must have an attitude of devotion towards higher ideals represented by devas, Brahmins, Guru, and scholarly persons. The term Dvija here, Deva Dvija Guru Pragyam, it represents Brahmins, that is twice born. But Brahmin means the one who has realized the self, one who knows the Brahman. That is, he is called Brahmin. The term twice born means, Dvija, twice born means that first birth is from the womb of the mother. After that, a man has to come out of his womb of matter. We all identify with our body, with our ego. So you have to come out of it. To hatch out of the ego and matter identifications and to enjoy the joy of perfection is a second birth. One who has accomplished this is called Dvija, twice born. One is born out of mother's womb, and the second is grown out of all limitations suffered by the spirit in its seeming identifications with the matter. Then Shaucham and Arjavam, purity and straightforwardness. External purity, not only physical but also environmental, is an unavoidable qualification of a seeker. We have already seen a dirty person wearing dirty clothes and eating dirty food can never be can never even imagine to achieve higher goals. Impossible. So external purity, purity of environment, purity of body is a must. Hindu Shastras insist on this purity. God's state cannot be entered without purifying the inner personality from all its weaknesses. Purity of character, very, very important. Purity of character would posit straightforwardness as a principal precondition. Unless a seeker diligently practices straightforwardness or honest in all his dealings with the outside world, he will develop a split personality. This will drain away all his composure, tranquility, and mental vitality. The seeker, inspired by the greater goal, he will drain his senses, sense pleasures, sense organs. Brahmacharya. Swami Chinmayananda says, Brahmacharya means constantly reveling in contemplation of Brahman. This is not possible unless one turns away bodily indulgences in sense pleasures and train the mind towards inner spirit. You have to curtail the outside pleasures. Body needs always pleasures. It wants enjoyment. Mind nature is like a frog moving towards water. It will go towards the sense pleasures. You have to control the mind and then direct it towards the inner spirit. That is brahmacharya. Therefore, all mental disciplines by which we come to develop in us this introspection are together comprehended in the term brahmacharya. Then ahimsa. Ahimsa means refraining from causing any harm to others, diligently avoiding all acts of injuring others from our emotional and intellectual realms is the strictest non injury that can be practiced in life. Living a life of self restraint, the seeker is a celibate and strictly practices not only just physical non injury but also avoids inflicting mental pain on others. So it is not only bodily injury, according to Chinmayananda, Swami Chinmayananda, it also involves not hurting anybody or causing mentally the pain. That is also important. All this is Shariram Tapas. So, Shariram Tapas involves Deva, Dvija, Guru, Pragya, Pujanam. So, you have to worship the Devas, you have to worship your Guru, you have to worship Brahmins in the sense those who know the Brahman, and you have to respect the scholarly persons. First important quality. Then, second is Shaucham, purity. That is important. Straightforwardness. Your thought, your word, and your action must be in tune with each other. Then brahmacharyam, controlling the sense pleasures. That doesn't mean you don't eat, you torture your body. Intelligent spending of energy. I would put it like this: intelligent spending of energy. Conserving the energy and use it for achieving higher goals. That is brahmacharya. Ahimsa, non injury, that is not physically injuring a person and also not mentally injuring the persons. That is ahimsa. All these are considered to be shariram tapas. That is what Bhagwan Krishna says in this verse. Verse 14 again. Devat dvijak guru pragyam pujanam shauchamarjavam brahmacharyamagimsa cha shariram tava uchyate. Next verse we will see tomorrow. Hari Om Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Narayana 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 Narayana